Hello, beautiful people. You are listening to the Keep It Cute podcast, and I am your host, Amber Symone. Today, I have a very special guest by the name of Felicia Jordan. Felicia, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming, guys. Wild story how me and Felicia met. So I used to live in an old apartment a while ago, maybe almost a year ago, coming up this summer. And me and Brandon, my partner, we were moving out very last day, turning in our keys. And I saw this cute little girl with her dog. I was like, oh my God, who is this? We like crossed paths. And then when I went to the mailbox, we kind of just ran into each other, start talking about what we do for our career. When I tell you meeting new people in LA, sometimes, and for some people, comes so easy. You never know, and it's so unexpected. So Felicia, that was so random the way we met, but I'm so grateful to have met you.
No, I'm really grateful to have met you too. I remember, so I am originally from Seattle, Washington. I moved here. Yes. No, moving here, it was kind of hard because I worked from home. And so it was hard to like meet people and then also like meet other like women of color, especially in the same industry, when you work from home and everything. And I was kind of like scared to like venture out, but eventually I got over that. But meeting you, and I remember I saw your braids.
Aww.
And I was just like,
I did have braids.
Yeah, you had the stitch braids and they were
oh my God, I did. I've never even had stitch braids before. I was so nervous. But I'm glad my head is like just really round, because if it wasn't, I would have had to take them out immediately.
Not immediately.
For real. I was like, do I look like, oh no, do I look like I'm fresh out with these stitch braids in my hair?
Not fresh out. No, I was just like, oh, she looks cool. Like, I love her hair. And I think you complimented me because I had the butterfly clips.
Oh, yes, you did. I was like every day because I saw you beforehand. So literally just, you have a little black schnauzer. What's your dog's name?
Missy.
So Missy was so cute. One, schnauzers are adorable. And she has this little black dog. And I was like, I noticed you, but I was like, I don't know if she's new. And like you mentioned, in COVID, it was so hard meeting people in our complex. Honestly, our complex, it was so nice. We had a pool, a barbecue pit, like everything. But nobody was really going outside to meet one another. And then as time went on, I think I was in that apartment for like 2 years. And then, of course, when I decided to move, everybody's outside again. Everybody's in the pool, having pool parties. And then, of course, Felicia, I think you moved there at the perfect time, because I really didn't get to meet a lot of people. I was there. But even like you've met like so many more people since you've been there. So, I don't know. You got lucky. And you have the best landlord ever.
Yes, I love our landlord. She's so amazing. And she helped us with the whole moving process. And we went to I moved with my husband.
Hey now.
So when I said we, that's
it's
why.
It's a wife.
Oh my gosh. And no one was getting back to us besides like Chanel. And she was just so great. And even we couldn't go and see the property in person, and she like did like a whole video and like FaceTimed us.
She's
and
amazing.
Everything. She really is.
So guys, seriously, shameless plug. Her name is Chanel Westbrooks, and she even helped us find this house now. She got her real estate license, and she's been killing it ever since. She helps people like on the west side of LA, I believe. And I don't know if she does anything else, but she really is the plug for finding homes, apartments in LA. I remember she was also a big reason why I even moved there, because it's really hard to find a good landlord. I've had like some landlord that's like, oh, my water won't turn on, or the sink is broken. And it's like, okay, it's been 3 weeks now.
It's like, not it.
I know. It's like, it's terrible. But honestly, if you're looking for something, hit up Chanel Westbrooks. All right. So let's get into you a little bit, Felicia. What are some of your interests, and what really brought you down to California from Seattle?
Okay, well, some of my interests, I love hiking. I love anything makeup.
Yes,
anything curly hair.
We bond over makeup. Yes, we could talk about that for a minute.
Yes, we could talk about all our favorite makeup
we
brands.
Sure can.
I think when I first met you, I was like, what foundation are you wearing? Because the base is beat.
I appreciate you. I try.
And then let's see what else. Okay, what brought me here to LA Well, my husband, he got offered a job working at this gaming company in Santa Monica. And we were just like, okay, we're young. There's nothing really holding us back. We don't have any kids. We just have a dog who is my fur child. But that's
what do they call him? Dinks?
Oh my god!
Have you seen that video before?
Yes, I have. I know what you're talking about.
Dual income, no kids is what they call them, dinks. And then it's like dinks WD or something, like dual income, no kids with a dog.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, okay, y'all are just making up anything, but I'm sorry. Continue. I had to throw that out there.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. But we were just like, and my husband, you know, with the pandemic and everything, and he was just wanting to do something that he loved, and this was definitely something that was just really pushing for him and the career path that he wanted. And we were just like, okay, we're young right now. If we're gonna move, we should move now. And so, and if it works out, it works out. And then he ended up getting the job, and then he ended up moving. At the time I was working from home, and so it just kind of like worked out that way.
Yeah, of course.
And actually, on the March 27th, it's gonna be a year.
Hey now, a day before my birthday.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, so it'll be a year, and it's crazy to see how much both of us have grown and changed in the directions. Like, I'm not working at home anymore, but now I work for Fashion Nova in the influencer marketing department, which has been great.
Felicia the plug.
I love my team and everything, and so yeah, that's where I'm at now, and I'm still at the apartment place.
Yes. And honestly, so me and Felicia, we've bonded over so many things, but I'd say especially fashion and beauty. And you mentioned like you're working at Fashion Nova. Are there any like certain lines we should be looking out for that we don't know about? Let the people know.
Okay, I don't know if any of you guys have heard about Fashion Nova's Snatch collection. You guys need to check it out. It's amazing. If you like those jumpsuits that just go make your body and give you that za, like that is what that collection does for you. It's just so good. There's so many good pieces. I'm actually wearing one of them now, this bolero top, but this is actually from the Jody and Fashion Nova collection. So that's one of our main models. You'll probably see her all over the website. She's amazing, and she's so beautiful, and she came out with her own collection with our snatched material. So yeah, definitely check that out. And our jeans are superior. Like, they really are.
I remember I got some bell bottom jeans from Fashion Nova like my freshman year of college. Probably one of the best pair of jeans I've ever had. And only because like it really like shaped me really nicely. It felt like thick material. And I was snatched, y'all. I was snatched in those bell bottoms. I have to give them away now, but they did snatch me for real. So in this snatch line, is it like jumpsuits or like what does it consist of?
So there's the jumpsuits, there's also tops, there's pants. My favorite are the jumpsuits. It gives you that like, I don't know, you just feel sexy. You can dress them up, dress them down.
I'm about to go online right after this.
No, I can tell you which ones. I need to look at my order history first.
I understand.
But I really love that collection for sure.
Thank you for putting us on. And even thinking about like your career trajectory, where did you start before you were in Fashion Nova? Like, did you do marketing or social media? Because I remember we like bonded over this prior.
Yes. Okay. So before working at Fashion Nova, I was a brand director for a company out in Seattle doing event email, social media marketing, and that was really fun. And then pandemic happened, and so I lost my job. And during that time, as I was applying, I started my own business with my business partner. We had our own social media marketing agency that we grew and scaled, and that was really fun. We did that for about almost 2.5 years, and then which was amazing, loved it. And then I stepped away from that, and kind of like at the end, I think it was the end of August, and now I found Fashion Nova, kind of wanting to like get more into like beauty marketing, beauty and fashion marketing. And my business partner, she's still like doing that business, and wish all the best for her. For me, I just needed something else, and and that's where I am now. And and I think it just happened so perfectly, and now I realize what I want to do and for my career, and grow in like grow in corporate instead of being like kind of having my own business, which is great and everything. But I'm like, you always learn so many different, I don't know, lessons from all the jobs that you have. Because when I think about myself, maybe 2 jobs ago or like 3 experiences ago, I'm like, I've learned so much. Even if it wasn't the perfect fit, I'm like, I'm really glad I did learn these few things so I can apply it to the next thing and excel at that. And then obviously, I don't know, would you say that you have a dream job? Like, is there any job that you feel like would be perfect? My dream job. So I would love to stay in marketing, and specifically in like a manager or like director role. I think I love kind of doing strategy and kind of helping develop campaigns. And specifically, I'm passionate about beauty, and even more kind of going into that, I would love to help dive into how we can make like ads and working with different influencers and really being intentional about the representation within like what companies are trying to promote. So a lot of like diversity and inclusion. That's another passion that I have. And the reason kind of going behind that, because growing up, never really seeing that representation in the fashion and beauty spaces. As like we have developed over the years, you do see that, but it's still kind of lacks intentionality. And I think as people of color, we see that too.
Yes. Everybody's like experimenting with it and like trying to get it right, but nobody's actually getting it right. Kind of like, okay, it's Black History Month. Let's make black Band-Aids, or let's throw, I don't know, a cool slogan on a t-shirt. Like, what is the intention behind it? And also to who are the people behind these campaigns, which is also really important. I think one thing for me is this month I worked on Black History Month at my job. And at first I was like, how did I end up working on Black History Month? But I was like, you know what? If anybody understands Black people and Black history on my team, it would probably be me. I do have other people of color and Black people on my team, but I'm like, at the end of the day, would I prefer to do it, or would I want someone else who's not from this culture working on this certain project? And the answer is no. So of course, having that intention behind these campaigns and figuring out what is the messaging behind, you know, just sometimes it's just lazy marketing, essentially. And they're not thinking about what does this represent? Like, is this message accurate? Like, you know, even fact checking is how a lot of people get themselves in trouble. So it would be important to have people such as yourself in those positions of power to make those decisions.
Yeah, that's where ultimately I would love to be more involved in and do more in my career with, and also but balance that with my love for marketing, my love for like strategy, coming up with campaigns, design.
Yeah, that is everything. The fun part.
Yes.
Yeah, even like doing creator events or I don't know, anything that involves like ideating something and then seeing it come to life. Like that is really fun. Or seeing your work on a billboard, you know. One day it will happen. We're speaking it into the universe. But just seeing something you work so hard on, you're like, this is my baby. And I did like all the strategy behind it and I put all the people behind it and the influencers. Like, that would be amazing to see.
No, yeah, for sure.
Okay, we are going to move into another segment and we're going to look at how it is being married in your 20s and maybe getting a little advice, maybe not so much tea, from Felicia. So Felicia, tell us, how has it been being married in your 20s?
Okay, being married in your 20s. It has honestly, for my husband and I, we got married in 2019.
Okay.
And
how old were you?
I would think, oh my God.
It's an estimate, approximately.
I think I was turning 23.
Okay.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I was 23 when I got married. So technically got married 22 and then turned 23.
Gotcha.
And then my husband, he's 3 years older than me. And I just knew that he was the person for me. And I didn't want, I don't know, we both kind of just knew that. And
how'd you know? What were some of the signs?
For me, honestly, it was just kind of how some of the signs for me was how he treated and talked about his family. That was a big thing for me because family is like a big thing for me. Just how he really loved me. And we were friends, you know, for a little bit before we like got together and just developed that way. And then he just honestly is still my best friend.
Yeah, as you should be.
Yeah, and let's see, another thing is how my mom reacted with him. And I was raised by a single mom, and she's like a tiger mom. Like, you know what I mean? I'm her little
Who
cup.
are you? Sit you down, grill you.
He actually asked my mom for my hand in marriage, and that was a whole thing. And just like how he interacted with my family, how he treated me, how it was just different than I've experienced from anyone else. And he just, at the end of the day, he was my best friend.
Yeah.
And the person that I really fell in love with. And before him, I didn't really think I would want to get married. Just kind of seeing, I came from like, you know, a broken home, didn't really see what that love really was. And there was a lot of healing I had to do in my heart before I was even ready for him.
Definitely.
You know? And then kind of meeting him and having my own like heart healing journey from different like hurt that I've experienced and seen, and then just seeing like how different he was and how he was just my friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Somebody who's always there for you, you know?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. So in terms of, obviously, that's how you knew he was the one. Is there any advice you would give to anyone marrying young?
Yes.
Or marrying in their 20s? I know right now there's still a lot of hot girls out here. There's a lot of people in these streets trying to figure out, are you the one? And it's really hard to really pinpoint that. So is there any advice you would give to someone before marrying?
I would just say, like, really looking at, I think like healing yourself first. I think we hear about that a lot. You have to, even kind of like being married young, you still kind of are realizing like things that you have to work on, because we know once you're married and everything, you guys are one, you know, and you like come together, you guys are a unit, you're like a team. And yes, they like help kind of, I don't know. For me and my husband, like, we are one and we're together, but we're also whole persons.
Yes.
Like, I had a lot of healing in my heart that I had to do from certain things, and he had too as well. But together, when we come together, we're a team. And like, he pushes me to want to be better, and I push him in certain things. We're actually very opposite. Like, he's introverted, I'm extroverted. I can like make friends just in the grocery store, and he's just like, oh my gosh, let's leave.
He's like, why are you talking to this lady about lettuce?
Like, for real though.
Can we go? I'm trying to go home.
Oh my gosh, for real though. And I think also just learning how to be really good forgivers, because we're all human. We're all like kind of, you know, have our own things that we're dealing with and developing and create, and like being a different person, like, and you're changing and you're developing over time, and we've gone through a lot together, and that's what's made us stronger.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know. Does that answer
No,
your question?
that's perfect. I'm like you said, is viewing a lot of the things you do, especially before you get married.
Yeah.
Being cognizant that it's not just you. After you guys get married, this is a unit. No matter what you go through or I go through, it should be kind of like you mentioned, you motivate him, I motivate you. It really should be like a give and an equal. It will not always be equal either. That's something I learned. I was like, I read that. It will not always be equal.
Yeah, it will not always be equal, because there's been times where like he needed support. And so like where he needs support, like I help, you know? And when I am like, there's a time, so like when my business partner and I decided to like end our business, like relationship, that was a really, really hard time for me.
Yeah.
And then like trying to apply for different jobs and everything, that was really hard. And it took like a little bit. Eventually I was able to find the job that I do have now, but he was my support when I kind of felt really insecure where I was, like kind of like, I feel like going back in, and when you've created this like career path for yourself and where you think you're going to stay and keep going, and then when things change, you're just like, oh my gosh, like who am I, like going into like applying for like other jobs or changing like career paths, even though it seems like really daunting and difficult. And like I was going through a whole like, okay, who am I, what do I really want to do, like kind of having this identity, because for me, like I will stay with things and like hold, like, I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm very, like, loyal and will stay to things to the end.
Yes.
And then when that and I'm the kind of person that's very, like, type A and will just kind of have my 5-year plan and everything.
Yeah. But then when you're like, okay, September 23rd, this needs to happen.
Yeah, exactly. And then when all of that just flips and changes, that was really hard for me.
Yes.
And he was able to be like, no, like, you got this. And, like, you can pick yourself back up. I'm going to be here right with you.
Yeah.
And we can do this together. And that was really cool. And like just helping it during that time, it made me realize, okay, like you're my person, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love that. You know, again, it's not always going to be equal. So when they're down, maybe we got to put in a little more effort, or maybe when they're at school all day, maybe you need to go do the sweeping and mopping, and they got it next week. So it really, you got to make sure. And obviously, like, I'm not married, so I'm living through you right now. I just be reading the tweets on Twitter, preparing myself for the future. So Felicia, I know you mentioned how your husband supported you during this rocky period of like these career transitions. And I remember you telling me this story when we were on our way to a Benefit Cosmetics roller skating party. So a little backstory, I'm an ambassador for Benefit Cosmetics, and you know we love a +1. And honestly, I'm so glad to have found Felicia, because I'm like, who are my beauty girls? Who is coming to me to these beauty events? And Felicia came with me to this Benefit Cosmetics event. They were doing like a brow release on one of their new products. We got all kind of products there. Like, I love leaving with a bag full of goodies. There also was a skating rink, which Felicia, I remember you were on that skating rink, but I was struggling for about 3 minutes. You did try though. Hold me. You did try though. You did try, and I give you props.
I will always try something. Like, that's one thing about me. I will always try something before and be like, I can't.
I won't do it.
Yeah, you know, or like, I know that isn't for me.
Yes. Same here. I'm like, even if it's a food, I'm like, I will try it before I knock it. I won't just be like, I'm never trying this ever. But that was so much fun though.
Yeah,
and it's like, I just remember you kind of going through that transition. You were like, you know, today hasn't been the best day, but I'm glad like we're doing this Benefit Cosmetics roller skating party. Like, and it was like a Wednesday. It was so random. But honestly, it's like, you never know when someone is in need of like just a little bit more sunshine in their day. So I'm glad that event could be something for you.
No, it definitely was. And it just kind of, during that time, sometimes those closed doors, things that like doors that close on you are just closing so that you don't stay in like, how do I phrase this? Sometimes opportunities and doors will close so that you don't spend years in the wrong room, because you never know what a closed door will lead to, like an opportunity or a room that you were meant to be in and thrive and grow. And like the rejection, or whether that's from a career like opportunity, or like whether that's in career with relationships, sometimes the rejection is the protection to like put you on the path that you're meant to be on.
Definitely. Yeah. I remember telling you, I know it's so cliche. Everybody is like, when one door closes, another opens, but it does. It really always does. As long as you don't give up on yourself, like something has to happen. I always say, when you hit rock bottom, you can only go up.
Exactly.
You know, so a door has to open for you. So I'm just glad that you found something in the meantime. And even from here, like doors will continue to open. You've moved to a new place. You're meeting new people.
Yeah.
So like a lot of new life experiences are happening for you.
No, and I'm excited. And I'm so glad I met you and like seeing your journey and like, and all the people that I've met within this year. It's just, it was like, okay, I'm meant to be here.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely. I love to hear it. And speaking of Benefit Cosmetics, y'all, so you know I had to touch on a few beauty topics, especially with a fellow beauty guru sitting beside me. Felicia, what are some of your favorite makeup products? We'll get into skincare, but let's start with maybe some of your makeup products first, whether a concealer, whatever that may be.
Okay, so I love makeup. I have way too much makeup. My husband sometimes is just like, again, Sephora. Overwhelmed. He was just like, do your thing in Sephora. You know, okay, so makeup that I'll do my like staples and then like some new products that I've been loving. Staples for my lips, I always have to have a gloss.
I see today, lips are glossy. They're cute.
Fenty Beauty Hot Chocolate.
Okay.
Yes.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. That's the gloss on top. There's another lip combo that we got, but always Cork lip liner by MAC, a Fenty gloss. I've been loving Hot Chocolate, and I love the color Fussy. And my then favorite. Don't knock on the Beauty Supply lip glosses.
Yeah,
those
seriously.
ones are top tier, superior.
I think there's one. It's in a clear tube.
Yep, the clear tube.
Does it say MAC on it?
I don't know.
It's like 3 letters on it.
I don't know.
And I can't remember, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Y'all, the beauty supply store, I will not go and pay $30, $40 for some eyelashes, but you will always catch me at the beauty supply store. They have all the lashes.
These are beauty supply store lashes.
These are beauty supply store lashes.
Tier, top tier. You can't tell me nothing.
My little $2, $4 lashes, banging. They don't miss.
They really don't. Let's see. And then things that I've been loving lately, I know everyone has been talking about the Kosas concealers, but I have been tried and true, like holy grail, like the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I'm a full coverage gal. And, me too. I love that one. But then people were talking about this. A lot of my friends recommended. So I am wearing it right now. I do love the Kosas concealers lately. And then let's see. And I've been trying out the House Labs foundation.
Oh, I have not tried that one.
That one's top tier. Like I really like. I have it on right now.
Is it full coverage?
I would say it's like medium.
Okay, not bad.
But at least for me, because I kind of do the underpainting method. Have you heard of that?
So what is the underpainting method? Tell the audience.
The underpainting method, if you're on TikTok, you already know. It's where you do your concealer and contour first, and then you go over with your foundation, and you kind of use like a powder brush, like lightly, and kind of like swirl, or like, you know, and that's what I've been doing. So I've been using it more like using less foundation. Normally I would just be like boom, boom, boom.
All over your face. Yes.
But yeah, and I've been liking that a lot.
Okay.
And I've been getting a lot of compliments on my skin and like my base, and I'm just saying those are the 2 things that I've been changing. Also using the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray.
Yep, I got that on right now. Charlotte Tilbury, I switched over to her setting spray after I was using Urban Decay.
Oh yeah,
the all-nighter setting spray, the OG, the staple. I was using that forever, and then I saw the girls on TikTok using Charlotte Tilbury.
I know, and I was like, I had to go buy it. Yeah, I had to know.
Yeah, I had to go buy it, and honestly, I love it. I've been seeing a lot of people rave about One Size, Patrick Starr's brand.
Oh, we love.
I just bought the setting powder, but I haven't used the setting spray though.
Oh, I love his pressed powders. That's another thing. You have to check it out. If you have not tried his pressed powders, I love him. He's Filipino. I'm half Filipino. Love supporting Filipino-owned businesses, Black-owned businesses, you know. And his pressed powder is unmatched. Like, I love it. That's what I set underneath for my eyes.
Ooh, girl, I'll be at Sephora after this. You ain't said nothing but a word. So in terms of skincare, what are some of your favorite skincare staples?
Ooh, okay. So I have very dry, sensitive skin. And I think a lot of the things that I try to focus on is skin, like, barrier repair. And so I use a lot of Korean skincare products because a lot of that is in there.
Honestly, light years ahead on a lot of the skincare products.
It's so good. And that's what really changed my skin. Like switching over to Korean skincare products. And okay, so a couple things that I really love. I love double cleansing because I wear a lot of makeup and
you gotta make sure it's all off.
So I really love one of my favorite cleansing balms is by, I think it's Banilico.
Yeah, it is
Banilico. I really love that one. The one in the pink jar. And then
you can get it from Ulta Beauty.
Yes, you can get it from Ulta Beauty. So good. And if you just want to try it out, they have like little sample size and it's perfect for traveling. I love it to just get everything off. And it doesn't strip your skin. I also really love kind of a more jelly cleanser for my skin. Yeah. So I was using the soy cleanser by Fresh, but then I switched over to this one. I don't know if you've ever heard. Have you ever heard Crave Beauty?
Yeah, with a K.
With a K. I sure do. I love that one. I love that brand so much. Just the marketing, the intentionality, and sustainability. And I use the cleanser. I use it's the matcha and hemp hydrating cleanser. So good, and it's really hydrating, really cleanses, and your skin doesn't feel stripped.
Yeah.
And I really love her. It's called the Hallelujah, and it's a really gentle chemical exfoliating toner. And for my sensitive skin, I use that because I used to use the Exfoliate. I don't know if you
by Kate Hudson?
No, by Paula's Choice, I think. No, I used to use that.
I think I know what you're talking about. Like, and it has an orange font on it.
No, it's gray.
Gray?
Yeah, or maybe it used to.
I was gonna say I have it's a tiny tube. It's a sample, and it's like Exfoliate. I know what you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure I have it, but I don't know who made it.
Maybe it's something else, but it's the Paula's Choice one, and it's gray. And I use that, and I used to use. Because so many people recommended it.
Oh wait, is it a liquid? The gray
liquid
one? I know what you're talking about.
Yes, I think, is it called I don't know
if it's Exfoliate though.
wait, I don't think it's Exfoliate. We'll cut that out.
No, we're gonna leave that y'all.
Okay, I don't know, but like it's that one. I used to use that, but I think I just didn't know too much about my skin and I use it every day. So maybe it is good, but it just, for me, I remember going through the skin purging. So I was like, ooh. So I switched over to that one and I really love it. It helps with texture.
Yes.
Let's see what else. I love sunscreen. Like Korean sunscreen.
Wear your sunscreen.
No, seriously, because skin cancer does not discriminate. Like that's why people of color, not anyone anyone needs to like wear sunscreen. I remember being told like, oh, you don't need it. And I wish I would have started wearing sunscreen earlier. I really love the Korean ones because they don't leave a white cast. They're super hydrating. Crave Beauty has a really good one. Okay. It's called Beat the Sun and it has like really good ingredients. And then I love this one by, I'll have to send it to you.
Yeah.
But it's called, I think it's Innisfree or something like that. And it has like hyaluronic acid and it's so hydrating. I love it.
And that's a sunscreen. And I know the brand, but I don't think I've ever seen their sunscreen before.
Yes, I'll send you the link.
I was like, you will have me on Google for the rest of the night.
No, and it looks so good underneath makeup too. Nice. It doesn't pill with all the
amazing.
Other products.
I was gonna say sometimes it gets clumpy. So like you put on the sunscreen and then you put your foundation on and you're like, what are these little bits on my face?
Yeah, and you're just like, that's not
all right, let's restart.
Yeah, we're just
so
like,
annoying.
I love using it whenever. But,
beautiful. Yeah. Okay, thank you for putting us on to a few makeup and skincare tidbits. All right, so we are jumping into one of our last segments of the day, and I just want to ask Felicia a few fun questions. We're gonna kick it off with number one. Question number one. What's your favorite thing in your closet right now?
Okay, my favorite thing in my closet right now, I'm wearing it. It's the Skims dress, the one that went viral. I saw all the TikToks and was like, do I just like that girl's body or do I really like it? And then I tried it on and I was like, Kimberly? It's giving BBL. Like it's just, I
Hugs
love
you
it.
in all the right places.
It really does. I love that. And then another thing I would have to say is my Fashion Nova jeans, specifically the 90s straight leg with the cross right here at the top. It's so good. I have them in 3 different washes. Amazing. That wasn't trying to be like a shameless plug, but if you are...
No, shameless plug us. I'm taking notes.
No, Fashion Nova jeans are just a match. Superior, you know. And then another thing that I like that I've been wearing a lot lately is the Nova Sport collection from Fashion Nova. We have a lot of really good pieces, and you can just, it's really good in the gym and also good if you want to make it kind of that athleisure chic look. So
Definitely. I love to hear it. Y'all heard it first. Nova Sport, Skims, and Fashion Nova jeans. Number 2, if you were an ice cream flavor, what would it be?
Hands down, mango.
Mango. We love it.
Yeah. Mango is my favorite fruit, my favorite flavor, like bubble tea flavor. Like, I love mangoes, specifically like I don't know if you know the small tiny mangoes, because there's the big red ones.
Yes, I know.
But like the small tiny ones, I grew up knowing them as like the honey mangoes because they're so sweet.
Can you get them from like a regular grocery store?
You can, but if you go to like the Asian markets or even maybe some of the like Hispanic markets, you'll be able to find them, but they're so good.
Okay. I'm like, I definitely have not seen any baby mangoes at Ralph's. They need to get up to date. Truly. Number 3, what's one thing on your bucket list that you haven't done yet?
I have so many things I want to do. Obviously, there's a lot of places I want to travel, but one bucket list item that I'm going to do this year is I want to go to Disneyland.
I can't believe you have never been to Disneyland.
Okay.
But it makes sense though, because you just moved here from Seattle. Have you been to Disney World?
I haven't been to Disney World.
I haven't been to Disney World either, so I'm just asking.
Because, okay, my mom took me when I was in her belly one time with the family. That does not count.
Is she saying that counts?
Yes.
Oh no, that does not count.
Yeah.
At all. At least when you go, remember, I forget they changed the name, but it used to be Fast Pass. Make sure you get that.
Okay.
Because the lines are like pretty ridiculous.
I'm going to send pictures and tell you.
No, seriously. It's like Genie something now. But get the Fast Pass so you can kind of like cut the line.
Okay.
You know, you never know when you need it. So number 4, what's your biggest pet peeve when it comes to social media?
Okay, this is kind of a hard one because like I have a background in social media marketing, done it for about like 6 years. I love it. I love social media, and I think it can definitely be used as a tool, a way for people to connect. Like that's how I've met some of my close friends now.
Definitely.
But I think one of my pet peeves is how it can really affect your mental health. And I think like even now for me, I have to take social media breaks. Like I used to like be on my stories, be checking it all the time, but I think sometimes like it can really impact your mind. And so the necessary breaks that you need from it, I think just so that you can just be healthy with your mind and you don't have that comparison game. You don't like do all that stuff. So I think that's like one thing that I would say is kind of like my pet peeve.
Yeah, definitely.
Would that be a pet peeve?
It is, you know, just the effect. Even to obviously like, even if you didn't work at Fashion Nova, like seeing Fashion Nova online and all these brands and just like the standard of, oh, this is what you should look like now, and the effect that it has on especially younger people, you know, who haven't even fully developed and gotten that D cup that they want, or those hips haven't filled out yet, or those lips aren't as full as you want them to be. But online, it's like, this is what you need to look like right now. But it's like, girl, you're 16. Like, you don't even know what you're going to look like. Like, you need at least a few more years, and I promise you'll grow into yourself. And if you don't, then by all means, do what you do. But I think, like you mentioned, I don't know, there's a standard that's kind of been set on Instagram. There's the Instagram girls, and we all know what that looks like.
They used to be the Tumblr girls.
Yeah, honestly, I used to follow the Tumblr girls. I had me a little foxtail. Lord Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
I got a real foxtail. That is a story for another time. And then I remember it fell off my bag, and this girl put the foxtail on her bag. And I was like, I know she stole that from me, and she found it on the floor because I'm the only one in this school who had a real foxtail.
On period. On
Seriously.
period.
I was like, I really thought I was that girl with that foxtail. I was, though.
You really were.
And last but not least, who was your most listened to artist on Spotify or Apple Music last year?
Last year, definitely, I listened to Beyonce, the Renaissance album on repeat. Cleaning, doing work, working out, in the car.
In my sleep.
In my sleep, she's queen.
Yes, yeah. Did you get tickets?
I haven't gotten tickets yet.
Do you plan on getting tickets? I know she said, let's end it right here.
Like, I do want to get tickets, but I also don't want to pay an arm and a leg when I did kind of like miss that date.
Yeah, I agree. I will say I've seen a lot of resales on, what is it? Ticketmaster?
I don't trust Ticketmaster after what happened to the Swifties.
No, I know, but that was like too much. I do use Ticketmaster a lot, I swear.
Okay.
And I did get my ticket, it might be shameful. I don't know if I should say this on the podcast, but a lot of people, here's my theory. A lot of people are spending $500. Fine. I think that's fair. But then like the $3,000 tickets, I'm never. No. Like unless I'm getting a meet and greet with Beyonce. Yeah. We get dinner, maybe a brunch the next week. I'm not spending $3,000. I love Beyonce. But there's a lot of things I could spend $3,000 on. Exactly. And it's not that. So on Ticketmaster, I spent like $150?
No.
I swear.
Wait, where are you sitting?
Girl.
Where are you sitting?
High in the sky. I am way up high.
Okay, because I did see those for like all the way up there.
But let me tell you, so throughout the year, I would go to a lot of the games at the SoFi Stadium. Now, honestly, unless you were on the floor with Beyonce, if you're like mid-row, you're still very, very far away from the stage. Even like I remember for some of our seats, we used to sit in like the box area, which is like still way up high. Really? And I used to watch the games from the screen, which again, if you're not on the floor, you're going to be watching the games from the screen. Like that's your main place. So I'm like, if I'm going to pay $800 to watch the screen, I don't mind paying $150 to also watch the screen. And I think it's just the matter. It is. You'll be able, like, if you're not on the floor, you're not going to have the best view. Okay. Like even if you're like on the middle row, you're still going to be so far from the stage.
Maybe I might just get
what I mean?
Because I've never been to that stadium.
Yeah. So like you're going to be watching the screen. I think for me, I was more adamant on, like have a few drinks and I'm there at the venue listening to the music. And I could say I went to the Renaissance concert without paying $3,000 and I'm still get my merch. Like I'm still at the concert, so
you're right.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, okay, I'm gonna check.
Because if I'm on the floor, I'm gonna be paying an arm and a leg, and if I'm not able to really see her from where I'm sitting,
and plus both of us are short.
Girl, everybody's always in front of me. I done almost suffocated in crowds. Yeah, like people just be tumbling
going
over
to festivals, and you're just like
gasping for air. Oh my goodness! But yeah, so anywho. Thank you for listening to, what is this? The 11th episode of the Keep It Cute podcast. Felicia, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
I loved being on here and thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, again, guys, don't forget to follow at the Keep It Cute podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and of course at Keep It Cute Pod on all socials. I'll catch you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.